If Major League Baseball handed out championships for dysfunction, the New York Mets would be a dynasty. Not a contender, a dynasty. Banner after banner flying high over Citi Field, reading 2026 NL East Champions of Chaos.
Come on and beat the Mets. Beat the Mets. Step right down and cream the Mets. Bring the kiddies, bring the wife. Guaranteed to get a divorce that night.
It's reached the point where every ticket to see a Mets game should be accompanied with a free pass for one mental health session in the setting of your choice. This franchise doesn't just lose games, it loses dignity, coherence, and occasionally any visible connection to professional baseball. Every year, like a bad sequel nobody asked for, the Mets return with the same plot. Big spending, big talk, and then, right on cue, a slow-motion faceplant into irrelevance.
Got no pitching, cannot hit. Most times it looks like they don't give a shit.
And that's what makes them so deliciously absurd. This isn't a broke team. This isn't a give it a few years rebuild. This is the baseball equivalent of lighting stacks of cash on fire and then acting surprised when the smoke blocks your view of the standings. Steve Cohen has more money than common sense outcomes to show for it, and somehow this operation still runs like a yard sale with uniforms.
It's okay though, guys, cause we got a surprise. Steve Cohen's gonna save the team.
You can do it!
Overpay for some old players, and then we'll reign supreme.
We suck again!
The Mets don't operate under financial constraints. They operate under a complete and total inability to turn money into competence. It's almost performance art at this point. We're at the stage where even the Russian judges would have to give them double zeros and forego their under-the-table cash bonus. Let's talk about how they actually play. Pitching? A rotating experiment in how quickly a lead can vanish. At times, it's almost as if the Mets pitching staff has a running pool every game to see who can torch a lead faster than anybody else and how many flamethrowers they can exhaust in the process.
Have you ever played baseball? Do you possess the ability to jog slowly around the bases? Can you breathe? If you answered yes, or maybe, to just one of those questions, then the New York Mets want to hear from you.
Defense? Less fundamentals and more guesswork. This is the quintessential two-step performed every game by mutants with 3 uncoordinated limbs. Base running, a master class in how to turn singles into outs and outs into comedy sketches. Every time the situation calls for Mets runners to take a chance or even put a foot forward in what should be an easy line to the next base, you feel as if the theme song from the Larry David Show should be the accompaniment. Watching the Mets execute routine baseball is like watching someone try to assemble furniture without instructions, tools, or the will to live.
Give him a yell! Give him a scream! Just to let them know you really hate this team.
Rumor has it IKEA will become a title sponsor for the Mets and hold competitions to see who on the team takes the longest to put together a 3-legged table. And the errors, the errors. Not just physical ones, mental errors, strategic errors, existential errors. Errors as if every player has only recently been returned from an alien abduction and still trying to come to grips with their new extra opposable thumb. There are moments when it feels like the Mets are inventing new categories of mistakes just to keep things fresh. You don't watch this team, you brace for it.
Come on and beat the Mets, beat the Mets. Watching them gives you regrets. Blowing leads can't hit with wrist. This team makes you want to slit your wrists.
But the real artistry lies in how they lose. Anybody can drop a game. The Mets, they choreograph collapse. Blown saves that unravel like cheap sweaters. Late-inning meltdowns that feel pre-written. Routine plays that turn into chaos. Simple throws that become adventures. Decisions in the dugout that feel like they were made via group text 5 seconds before they happened. You watch it unfold and think, surely this is the low point. And then tomorrow happens.
If you're looking for part-time employment, then you should consider these fantastic part-time job openings with the New York Mets. General manager, hitting coach, pitching coach, Keith Hernandez's mustache, my girlfriend.
Don't bother even with the numbers unless you enjoy being insulted by stats. Runners stranded like forgotten luggage, ERAs that look like area codes, situational hitting that disappears precisely when it's needed most. It's not just underperformance, it's targeted failure. What elevates this from ordinary bad to historically ridiculous is the setting. Hey, this is New York. This is supposed to be a flagship franchise. Instead, the Mets are the baseball version of a reality show where everything goes wrong and nobody learns anything by the finale. Meantime, Mets fans deserve some kind of federal relief or witness protection program. These people have endured more emotional whiplash than a crash test dummy strapped in his passenger with Britney Spears at the wheel.
It's that time of year when you feel an overwhelming wave of sadness. You feel hopeless. You don't enjoy the things you once loved. You're a Mets fan, and you suffer from Mets seasonal affective disorder.
Every spring brings hope, genuine, sincere hope, followed by the inevitable realization that, nope, this isn't the year. It's never the year. It is, however, always the same story. We're at the point where every ticket holder will be granted a discount therapy for that post-game electric shock. There's the punchline that never gets old. None of this has to happen. The resources are there, the talent exists on paper, the expectations are sky high, and still the end result is a team that plays like it met each other in the parking lot 20 minutes before first pitch.
Remember 1986? Neither do I, because I wasn't f***ing born yet.
So yes, there are worse teams in baseball. There are organizations with fewer advantages and smaller ambitions, but they're not the Mets. They're not out there redefining what it means to fail loudly, publicly, and expensively. The New York Mets don't just disappoint, they commit to it. Year after year, inning after inning, mistake after mistake. At this point, it's not a slump, it's a brand.
So talk to your doctor about Mets-a-Love today, because being a Mets fan sucks balls.
Because when you strip it all down, the Mets aren't just bad. They're spectacularly, expensively, and repeatedly bad in ways that defy logic, frustrate reason, and, whether you want to admit it or not, make the rest of baseball shake its head, laugh a little, and say, oh, of course, it's just the Mets.